Take a look at what you missed on the last episode of Crypto Market Monday.
So that would put this pullback right to the 382. I love when the price comes to the 38% mark for a retrace and then potentially goes up. So here, to me, in my opinion, this is my decision point. This is one of them. I want to see the price do this. From here, come up, break this level, then find support on the level, then continue up. This is one of my thought process. Another thought process would be, it would be okay if it retraces. I don't want to see it coming down here because it's going to break below my other anchored VWAP. I would like the price action to come to about here, the 0.5 level, then come up. So once again, I don't want to see it come in here because now if it does, it's under my VWAP. Now, this is one thing that I show on my channel pretty frequently, but it's this information right here. And I would strongly recommend everybody screenshot this because this, you have to know what your tools do. If you don't know what your tools do or what they're for or how to properly use them, you're going to have them on your charts. So you can look smart, you know, like your mentor or somebody you're watching, but you're not going to know what they're for. Here, I break it down for you in this little chart where we have the VWAP, and you can just use the regular VWAP. I use sometimes both the VWAP and the anchored VWAP. The only difference is the anchored VWAP, it allows me to set a point that I want to see the volume. Now, there's a lot of different volumes, like on the chart, there's a volume on the bottom, but that is time base. So if your 4-hour candle, because you're on the 4-hour chart, if it goes up and your volume goes up, well, then this is the volume is based off of the time, the 4 hours. These are not based off of time. They're based off of a range of volume that happened on the chart. So instead of, like, if you're looking at a graph, instead of looking at this axis, you're looking at this. So that's pretty much what it is. Now for the VWAP, it is the volume weighted average price. I love this. What does this mean? It is like a moving average, but for volume. Simple terms, if the price is above that line, it's bullish or it's good. If it's below the line, it's not so good or bearish. Now, the line itself is not a level of support resistance like a trend line or support resistance level is, because it's dynamic. It's very fluid. So it moves along with the price. Price can come up to it, but since it's the average, the price may stop at that level and come down. This is why I'm always looking for either a rejection or a bounce above and a retest. But it's very important, don't treat it as a solid, level, because it's not. It's a form of support resistance, but it's not a support resistance level, if that kind of makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I also have here, thank you. I also have this here, the fixed range volume profile. This gives you the volume based off of wherever you're looking at, and you adjust it. So the red line, that's the point of control, and that's where the majority of the volume happen. What's volume? We keep on saying volume. Volume is the amount of sells and buys. This is really important. So if you understand what volume is, and you understand how to use tools that use volume, well, then now you have a little bit of more of an edge when it comes to trading. You know where there might be support or where there was more volume. And not only that, but this is like an area of interest. If you're way down here, more than likely, we're going to go where the average is at. And so that's one thing I'm always looking at. I'm looking at not only the price action, but I'm looking at the momentum. I'm looking at the strength. And these volume indicators, they help with that. All right. Any questions?
Well, I actually do have a question. With regard to the VWAP, is that something that you would suggest or recommend for someone who is newer to trading in cryptocurrency to help them along and kind of learn, or somebody who's got like let's say some time under their belt?
Right. So for a brand new person coming in, I would strongly recommend support resistance. For more information on how to do that, make sure to check out my channel. Go
Yes,
live
sir.
several times a day. But for simplicity's sake, you want to go to a higher time frame and then use your magnet tool and then the ray tool, and it will draw, or horizontal ray, and it'll draw these white lines or these lines. And this is where there should be a potential area of resistance. Well, these are actually key levels the higher time frame you go. Now, everything else that we use on top of that, it's just going to help determine our thought process if the price is going to possibly continue going up or down. But this one, I would definitely put this in your tool chest, especially if you're a new trader as well, just so it can give you the visualization of momentum. Is it strong or is it weak? So I believe this will help tremendously. Same thing with moving averages too. But you just have to know what the tool is used for. That way, when you see it and the price is above or below whatever indicator you're using or tool you're using, you know what it represents.
And I'm going to guess that it's probably better for somebody who's new to master whatever the first level is, the first tool they're using, and then potentially add another tool to the gun there,
Yes.
another bullet in the gun, if you would.
Yes, 100%. And that's what the most new traders, when they come in, they see somebody who's already seasoned and they may have 13 indicators on their chart, and they want to replicate it because, well, that person might be, or more than likely, successful, so they want to replicate, and they have 13 things, but they don't know why. But yes, to your point, learn one thing. For me, I don't do patterns, but if you do, great. If you're making money, great. Learn patterns and learn it well. Learn divergence and learn it well. The very first thing that I recommend everybody start with, which is the foundation, support resistance.
Support and resistance.
You need to know that. Then
Makes
once you
sense.
get that down, then you can do trend lines, and then you can do divergence, because it's literally support resistance, trend lines. Now that you know how to do trend lines, now you can find divergence. Then after divergence, now you can go to the other stuff, the moving averages, and the VWAPs, but it all builds on top of that foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation, anything you build crumbles.
Agreed. Guys, you just got a master class right there for free right here, first thing on a Monday morning. You can join us every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, for Crypto Market Monday. Don't miss it.